What's up, y'all? I'm currently on my way to the gig right now. Hope y'all having a good day. I know I don't be on here a lot, but I hop on here when I can. I'll be busy, been busy working a lot, getting this money. So y'all know how that go. But I want to talk about something real quick. It's about a lot of people, a lot of first-time home buyers are complaining about being house poor, right? And one of the so-called American dreams is to become a homeowner. And a lot of people thought that, hey, if I buy a home, I don't gotta rent no more. Rent has been going up. They thought if I buy a home, I don't gotta rent no more. I'm not paying somebody else. I'm paying towards something else that could be called mine eventually, once I get the home paid off, which is understandable. Rent is going up. Rent is getting higher as we speak. It's not too bad in the area that I'm in, but I can most definitely understand, in cities where there's a higher cost of living. So I can understand why people would just be like, I'd rather take
in 0.6 miles.
Money
keep left
getting to excuse me, that just interrupted me. But I can understand why people are saying I'd rather take the money that I'm getting paid and just put it towards my own home. I can understand that. But a lot of people don't factor in a lot of things when buying a home. One thing is they don't factor in the taxes. You're not just going to be paying your mortgage. You're going to be paying taxes on the home. You're also going to be paying homeowners insurance. You're also going to be paying, I think it's called the escrow. I think that's when they do evaluations and in that area. And if they say, the cost of living is going up in that area, that means what you're paying on your home can rise as well. So a lot of people don't factor that stuff in. They don't factor in maintenance. If something goes down, you may need a new roof. That may be thousands. Plumbing, HVAC. They don't factor in a lot of these things.
Keep left.
They getting a home. And it's not really up to the realtor to do that for you. That's your job to do your research and see what all costs may be factored in when you buy your home. Because I've been hearing of people, excuse me, y'all. I've been hearing of people mortgage go up by $2,000, $1,000, $500, and say you're already living paycheck to paycheck. You're already living paycheck to paycheck, and you're barely making it as it is, and then you have to pay that much more for your mortgage. You're not going to be able to do it. You're going to be house poor. So my thing is, there's nothing wrong with wanting to own a home, especially if you have kids. It's more beneficial in many ways to own your own home. But the thing is, sometimes people don't factor in those costs, and maybe they buy more home than they can afford, right? And I hear a lot of people say, and this may be true in a lot of cities, but if you live in a mid-sized city, right, with a semi-low cost of living, there's homes that you can buy that's not that much that you can fix up. You don't necessarily
Car on shoulder reported ahead.
have to buy a $300,000 home in some of these areas. And the thing is, a lot of these $300,000 homes, they don't be worth that. A lot of these homes are cookie cutter homes. They are built horribly. And a lot of people be buying these homes because they look nice on the outside, but they're not worth nothing. They're built horribly. And they don't do the proper inspections in buying these homes. That's another thing. If you're going to get a home, you know, you're going to want to do all those type of inspections. And they don't do those inspections, and they get these newly built homes, and they're stuck in this horrible mortgage. And then on top of that, later on down the line, they're running into a lot of issues to where they gotta put money up for maintenance as well. So it's a lose-lose situation. So now your house poor, and then you don't even have a good built home. You're dealing with a whole bunch of major issues in your home that you got to pay out of pocket for now. So my thing is, you know, if you really need to get a home and you're thinking about getting a home, try to look into alternatives. Try to look into like maybe buying a older home that maybe you can renovate. You know, you get an older home, maybe see if you 50 to 70K or whatever the case may be. Maybe you get you like a renovation loan, you know, to where you can go in and fix the place up, and roughly maybe that may equal out to about like 100K right there. But you know, you're not paying no crazy mortgage. Say you put you a nice percentage down. Say you put you 20% down. Even if you put 10% down, you know, that's pretty good. And then your mortgage is just not out the roof. Say even if you know how to do some of the stuff yourself, you can save some money. Especially if you're a first-time home buyer, you know, you can always upgrade, but you don't have to go all out on your first home. It's a starter home for a reason. So why not just, you know, find you a little fixer-upper, you know, get you a loan to renovate it, fix it up a little bit, and then just stay there. Because a lot of these older built homes are lasting longer than these newer built homes. So why not just do that? You know, you don't necessarily have to buy a $300,000 home for your first starter home, a $400,000 home, a $500,000 home. I get it. In some places, I mean, it's very high cost of living. I get it. I stay in the Midwest. It's a fairly decent cost of living. So I don't know. Maybe you may need to relocate as well if you want to be a home buyer. It just all depends on your personal finances. But I mean, you don't want to be home poor. You don't want to bite off more than what you can chew. That's all I'm trying to say. You know, if you really feel like you have to own a home, just try to think of the smartest way you can do it. And you have to factor in everything. Like I said, you know, property taxes, they may go up, especially if, you the property taxes in your area is going up, and they're building new homes and stuff, your property taxes may go up, which will make your mortgage go up, because I think they just add it all together. Don't quote me on it. Also, HOA fees. Do you want to buy a home where you are going to have to pay HOA fees? I don't want to have to deal with no HOA fees. I can cut my own grass and do all that stuff myself. I don't trust it. I've been hearing a lot of nightmares about HOA fees and stuff, and they do a lot of janky stuff from what I'm hearing. So I wouldn't want to do that. I'll say, why not just renovate a home, start off with a fixer-upper, especially if you're in the Midwest. If you're in the Midwest, there is a lot of fixer-uppers. I stay in the greater St. Louis area. I know in the Midwest it's a lot of fixer-uppers. Whether you're in Indiana, you may be in Ohio. I know it's plenty of homes that are fixer-uppers that you can buy and renovate, and it can be just as good as these newly built homes. You don't have to buy no $500K home for your first home. Get more established in your career. Continue to make some more money. Get you a home to where you can pay off and you ain't got to get no 30-year mortgage. You don't want to be house poor. And like I said, I never been no homeowner. I do plan to be a homeowner in the future, but starting off on my first home, I plan on just renovating the home. See if I can get a renovation loan. I was car poor at once, so I can only imagine how it is being house poor. I'm pretty sure it's stressful. You got to work all these long hours, and most of your money is going towards your house. You don't got no money for anything else. I mean, that's not no good way to live. With anything, you don't want to be car poor doing it. You don't want to be a slave to your bills, right? You want to be able to pay all your bills and still have some money left over, and that's the motto that I'm living by right now. I want to be able to pay all my bills, not be stressed, still have money to save, still have money to invest, still have money to do activities that I want to do. Forget trying to look good for other people. You got to do what's best for you. And my thing is, I want my life to be as stress-free as possible. And just having a whole bunch of bills or being house poor, or just because I want to portray a certain image, that's not where it's at. I'm finishing up a bankruptcy right now. I should be discharged by November. And I learned my lesson. I need to learn this lesson this early on in life, so when I move forward in life, I know how to navigate. I know what not to do. And I'm going to tell you this. Being a slave to your bills is not enjoyable. It's stressful. So if you haven't owned a home, and you think about buying a home, really take precaution. Really do your research and take your time on this.
Car on shoulder reported ahead.
And make sure that you can really afford it. But that's all I had to say. I got some more videos coming soon. Peace.